Hafare and welcome back, everybody. In June, Payu-Ta, the umbrella organization of non-governmental organizations, hits its 10th year addressing the needs to enhance the services and effectiveness of our local non-governmental agencies. We welcome back to the KUAM studios in Harmon our good friends Sarah Nedadog and Eddie Regis, and they are going to tell us more about this wonderful occasion. First of all, allow me to be, I'm certainly not the first, but one of the first, happy anniversary. 10 years is a wonderful achievement.
Thank you.
And that's very, very hard to do for any organization, but certainly it's a labor of love for you.
Yes, and it seemed to have gone by really quickly. And we're just glad that we're able to celebrate 10 years, providing really supportive services to nonprofits to help them, do better at governance and leadership, but also to come together as a coalition to advocate for policy, to take a look at our own internal strengths and how we can make that even better, and to just be a core group of organizations that are striving towards, serving our community better. Mm-hmm. So that's been going on for 10 years, and prior to that, actually, the nonprofits have been getting together, the leadership, trying to figure out what we can do together to just make things better for not only ourselves as nonprofits, but also how we can improve services directly to our people. So that's really been the gist of Payu-Ta and the work we've done over the years.
Now, for both of you, I'd like your input on this, because the nonprofit sector on Guam is very, very distinct, because people think, we have the private sector where, we make our own way to make money. We have products and services. You have the military, which always has its funding. You have the government, which, depending on which agency you work for, makes money off the community or not. And then you have nonprofit, which is a completely different animal in terms of getting funding, writing grants, staffing, continuing the mission. But everybody there has a passion for it. So what are some of the unique challenges of running a nonprofit organization on Guam?
Well, funding is definitely one of the issues as far as becoming sustainable.
But it makes the world go round.
Yes. But I think what makes us thrive is our commitment to serve. And our contributions are widespread. We have close to about 30 member organizations, and we hope to grow that even more, and also participate more in policy changes that could be influenced by a coalition of nonprofit organizations that can provide input to the policies that are being introduced through the government, the legislature, the executive branch, and so forth.
Yeah, and that is interesting, Sarah, and I love the fact that there's now an organization that can actually help at that level, because you get so many people on Guam, and if you grow up here, part of what we have as islanders is taking care of our neighbors, being able to give back. So everybody's got the passion at some point, I want to help the homeless, I want to help kids, I want to help people who are sick, I want to help the elderly and everything. But not everybody is well versed in, policy formulation or getting grants or organizational behavior and everything like that. So where does Payu-Ta come in?
Well, first of all, the nonprofit sector is really the private sector. The difference is that our profit is making a difference in the community in terms of we don't take profit and take it home and do with what we want, but our profit has to be reinvested into our organization to make it better able to meet its mission.
That's interesting. So it's really, I've never heard it defined like that.
Yeah,
that's
it really truly is. So we are a private sector entity, but we are a nonprofit versus a for-profit.
So maybe private sector, but not necessarily capitalistic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we call ourselves the private nonprofit sector, but the question that you posed earlier is like, how do we do that? There's literally hundreds of nonprofits on Guam, but the nonprofits that we're most focused on are those that are service oriented. So we have nonprofits that work with youth, work with families, work with people with disabilities, work to preserve the environment, the culture, educational types of entity, advocacy groups. Those are the types of nonprofits that would be attracted to an organization like Payu-Ta. And we also work with a lot of groups that are informal, and they want to learn a little bit more about how do you get formalized, how do you file with revenue and tax, how do you get your 501c3 federal tax exempt status, how do you write grants, and all of us, always need support in board development, in leadership, governance, financial management. Those are ongoing types of activities that we work with the nonprofit sector. And as you know, we have 2 nonprofits now that are accredited, so we're working hard to get all of our member organizations accredited in the near future.
All right, well, the positivity continues because, as I understand it, you guys have a luncheon and an awards banquet that you're using to celebrate the work that you do and recognize some of the more outstanding organizations you have. So tell me all about that, because now it's time to party.
Well,
Woo.
the event is actually on the 1st of June at the
Weston.
Weston
Yeah.
Very
Hotel,
nice.
and it's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's time to celebrate and also to issue some awards to leaders in the different sectors of the community with respect to their contributions to help nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, what kind of criteria do you use to pick, like, who is, because everybody does very, very, very good work, very admirable
Right.
work, but how do you determine exactly who is, like, most outstanding in that space?
So we have 4 categories: business, government, a nonprofit leadership award, and emerging youth. So for business and government, the criteria is centered around those entities that have significantly contributed to the furtherance of a mission of a nonprofit. So if they've donated money or provided volunteer support or provided technical assistance or some kind of significant support to an organization so that they are better able to do their job. That's what we're looking for in government and business partners over the past years. And as you know, the nonprofit sector could not do as well as it does without business support as well as government support. Mm-hmm. So the other ones are, you know, it's kind of like a peer thing with the Nonprofit Leadership Award. We look at each other and we say, okay, who's that nonprofit that seems to embody all the values and has the spirit and has done things that are creative, innovative, and progressive. And then we have the emerging youth. We look at young people from 18 to 24 who are already so involved in community-based activities, and we want to recognize them.
All right, well, outstanding. Well, it's our pleasure to be able to recognize the 2 of you and the organization that you represent for the very outstanding work that you do. And you can find out more information about the luncheon on our YouTube channel, so check that out, youtube.com/KUAM News. Thank you both, and congratulations on 10 years.
Here's and thank you, KUAM.
All right, here's looking forward to many, many more.
All right.
And here is looking forward to seeing you after this commercial break.